Do you feel him, sir?
Hello and welcome everybody to One Star Wrestling. We are here with another video. It is me, Ray Ronu, and today we're going to be predicting the entire men's Royal Rumble. Now, I do want to say I wanted to do both Royal Rumbles. I want to do the women's Rumble, but life is currently giving me a tombstone pile driver through a table off the Hell in a Cell. Shane McMahon is also following with me. It hurts to exist, and I'm doing my best. I'm in fact doing my best so bad that my shirt does not say things correctly because I took the model and it is flipped and I'm, again, my best. It's being done. But yeah, the entire 30-man's Royal Rumble, ladies and gentlemen. I have 1 through 30. Everybody who's in it. Everybody who gets eliminated. Who eliminates who. The entire thing. It is an entire Google document with 9 pages. I'm very excited. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. But first, because I'm going to waste your time just a little tiny bit. On February 1st, on my Twitch channel, Ray Ronu, that is currently on the screen right there. Hopefully, if I remember to edit it in correctly. I'm doing a Royal Rumble watch-along subathon. Come by and just hang out with me. I got sub goals, I got everything, I got the vibes and some extra special stuff to be revealed on my Instagram and my Discord channel. Just get involved. It's a fun time. But let's actually get into the video now with the Royal Rumble 2025. The men's Royal Rumble kicks off, and first up is Dominik Mysterio. He enters and grabs the mic to start talking shit to the Indianapolis crowd, saying, "I've got a hot girlfriend, my troubles are behind me, the Judgment Day is on the rise again, nothing can go wrong, and nothing can stop me. I'm going to win the Rumble from the #1 spot and show all you idiots how it's done. Then when it's all said and done, I'll have a better run than anyone in the Rumble, including my lame-ass dad." And then, just like that, the music of Joe Hendry from TNA plays. Number 2 is Joe Hendry himself. He gets an absolutely huge pop, because duh, of course he does. And the match officially kicks off with Dom and Joe starting it off with some action in the ring. It's pretty even until number 3 comes out, and it's one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley. Alex gets in the ring, and Dom has this moment of, "Hey, wait, hold on, I'm just a little guy, time out," which Alex and Joe respond to with some shrugged shoulders before they get to work on Dom. This continues until Alex gets Dominik nearly over the top rope, but not quite, leaving Alex open for Joe to come from behind and almost get a surprise elimination. Alex gives Joe a sort of what the hell look. Commentators says something about, "Oh, anything can happen, there are no friends in the Rumble." But before Alex and Joe can exchange too many blows, we have our 4th entry. Number 4 is a big one who's going to play a big part in this Rumble, Solo Sikoa. He's coming out with a head full of steam as he immediately levels both Alex and Joe, taking them both down to the mat before even hitting Dominik with a big Samoan drop. Solo is out for pure destruction and nobody is safe, with him putting the focus on Alex Shelley in the corner as Hendry and Dominik go back to fighting. This goes on and more as we get the 5th entrant. Another person who will play a big role in this Rumble. Number 5 is Drew McIntyre, who stares down the ring with Scottish aggression and hits the ring. Wasting no time, Alex Shelley eats a big Claymore. Dominik gets a Future Shock DDT, and Drew zeroes in on Solo. The two of them butting heads with a stare down before literal headbutts get traded back and forth, with Drew coming out on top. The timer is counting down for the next person, and number 6 ends up being Andrade, who makes their way down to the ring and stays back for a second, just kind of gauging the environment. Solo and Drew are tied up in the corner while Joe Hendry and Dominik are duking it out in the center of the ring, leaving Alex Shelley, who Andrade decides to go after. After some more time of fighting, the 7th entry is already on their way out, and number 7 is JD McDonough, who barrels towards the ring and slides in quickly to help out Dominik. 2 Judgment Day members now mean that Joe Hendry is quickly laid out with strikes as they high-five each other before turning around and noticing that Drew has successfully taken Solo down in the middle of the ring with a big slam. So, JD, being full of great ideas, decides to give Dom a look and lay a strike into Drew's back. This, of course, only pisses off the Scottish psychopath, who quickly turns around, grabs a hold of JD, and sends him sailing over the top rope and out of the ring. Our first elimination is Drew getting rid of JD McDonough. Dominik quickly realizes he's cooked if he stays around, so he slides out of the ring to avoid an actual elimination, with Drew staring him down for a moment before Alex Shelley comes out of nowhere moments after leaving Andrade on the apron for a near elimination, and Alex tries to send Drew up and over the ropes. Drew stuffs the elimination attempt, planting both feet on the apron and then trying to pull Alex over. The timer starts going on again, and out comes number 8, Jacob Fatu. As Jacob is making his way down the ramp, Drew McIntyre is hoisting Alex Shelley up in a suplex, and he sends him out of the ring for the elimination via a suplex toss. Drew makes his way back in just to bear witness to Jacob Fatu, who has a full head of steam and is out to cause damage. Jacob clotheslines Andrade down to the mat, hits Joe Hendry with a big-time Samoan drop, before going into Solo in the corner to help him up. It's Drew and 2 members of the new bloodline in the ring standing. What happens next is a straight up big beefy brawl. Drew trying to hold his own against the combined forces of Solo and Jacob, only to eventually be worked into the corner, with Solo laying in strike after strike before Jacob hits that corner hit bump, and we've got the timer coming on for the next person. In shades of that one Royal Rumble where the new Nexus was tearing ass, number 9 in the Rumble is just more bad news for Drew. Number 9 is Tama Tonga. He takes his time getting down to the ring, knowing that Jacob and Solo are keeping things locked down. Drew's been left on the apron, and Solo and Jacob turn their attention back to Andrade, who's thrown out by the Samoan werewolf. Tama gets into the ring and goes to try and get rid of Joe Hendry, with Solo quickly coming to try and add to the chances of eliminating him. Hendry starts to fire back with some offense, but it's not enough as he gets dropped with a Samoan drop, and the 3 Bloodline members are surrounding Joe, picking him up as the next timer starts. But their attention is quickly taken away from the TNA rep once they see who's coming down. Number 10 is the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Braun moves down to the ring, managing to give Dominic a shoulder bump hard enough to damn near knock him through the barricade before getting in the ring and initially getting beaten down by Solo, Jacob, and Tama. Braun manages to get up eventually, pushing them all off and hitting Solo with a boot, Jacob with a power slam, and finally hoisting Tama up onto his shoulders before sending him out of the ring for the elimination. Joe Hendry is back up on his feet at this point, standing next to Braun and getting the temporary alliance in place to take the fight to Solo and Jacob, as Dominic is now finally making his way back into the ring properly to try and take Drew McIntyre out of the equation, almost succeeding as we hear the countdown come for number 11. Chris Sabin. Not having a tag partner to back up, Chris makes his way into the match, deciding to go after Dominic Mysterio, not to save Drew, but just realizing that he's going to be the most annoying part of this Rumble if he's not taken out quickly. On the other side of the ring, Hendry and Braun have succeeded in bringing Solo down to the mat as Joe lays in strikes to the blonde Samoan, and Braun Strowman throws Jacob over the top rope with Jacob hanging on by a thread. Solo quickly reverses one of Hendry's strikes, throwing him off and getting to a standing position, trying to get a sense of his surroundings before blindly throwing punches at Braun, with Braun quickly grabbing Solo and whipping him into the ropes, where Solo collides with Jacob, still hanging on the ropes, sending Jacob Fatu out to the floor for the accidental elimination. Solo realizes what he did, looks down at Jacob with anger in his eyes as he starts crashing out, and while Braun is stood mocking Solo, we get the countdown for number 12, Finn Balor. Finn is looking pissed off as usual given his last couple of months, and he hits the ring with an immediate attack to any and all faces. Finn hits Drew Hendry with a sling blade, nails Chris Sabin with a shotgun dropkick that sends him into the corner, followed by a clothesline to send Chris Sabin out of the ring for the elimination. The people currently in the ring are Dominic Mysterio, Joe Hendry, Solo Sikoa, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, and Finn Balor. 4 people meet in the middle of the ring, with Finn and Dominic standing up against Joe and Braun, with Finn trying to take down Braun Strowman and Dominic trying to take Joe out of the match for good this time. Dom manages to get Joe to the ropes, almost working him up and over, with Finn yelling at Dominic to get over there and come help him where he is, getting Mysterio to help him lay out Braun with a big double team move. Solo Sikoa, having recently made it back to his feet in the corner, quickly moves to Joe Hendry and grabs him, yelling out and nailing him with a Samoan spike as he is stuck on the ropes, taking him out of the match and eliminating him as Hendry falls down to the floor. The crowd is pissed at this, of course, with Solo reveling in the booze for a moment before Drew McIntyre comes barreling out of nowhere with a claymore to Solo just as he turns around, hard enough to send him out of the ring next for another elimination. The ring has thinned out, and Drew looks at Braun on the mat before barking orders to Finn and Dominic, something along the lines of, "Let's get this large fucker out while we can." Finn and Dom are apprehensive, but agree, seeing that the timer is getting ready to count down, and just as the timer hits 0, the 3 of them have managed to get Braun to the ropes. Number 13 is Jey Uso, who sprints down to the ring to the sound of yeets, sliding in just in time to superkick Dominic, hit a boot to Finn, and stare down Drew. Drew is looking beyond tired of everything at this point, giving Jey a dismissive shake of the head before coming to blows with him. Braun's back to working order as well and zeroes in on Finn Balor, quickly overpowering him. This goes on for a little while, and the timer has started again, with number 14 being Damian Priest, who makes his way down and gives Braun a pat on the back, taking things over from him after a big-time slam from the big man, doubling down on Finn Balor's damage with a South of Heaven, before pointing to Jey Uso, who's up now and grinning big time, setting Finn up for a big super kick. Jey hits it, and Finn is sent over the top ropes for an elimination. While Jey Uso is celebrating though, Drew is in the background, whipping Damian down to the mat by his hair and giving Braun a future shock DDT. Jey turns around, realizing that's just him and the Ska on the side of the ring, with Dominic keeping his distance in a smart moment for once. Egging Drew on, Jey manages to dodge a claymore that sees Drew caught up on the top rope, but before Jey can get the elimination going, Dominic comes up from behind, pushes Jay into the ropes, and sends him up and over the rope for an elimination. The timer is going once again, and number 15 is about to get a huge pop and surprise a lot of people. Courtesy of a lot of rumors lately about a big partnership, number 15 is TNA's own Ace Austin, who takes his time posing and vibing out on the stage and ramp while Braun is up on his feet and fighting with Dominic, with Mysterio being worked into the corner by the tired big man. Once Ace gets in the ring, he takes notice of Damian Priest, who initially tries to square up, but Ace puts up his hands like, whoa, wait, no, there's bigger fish here. Ace pointing to Drew McIntyre, and Damian is apprehensive, of course, because that's Ace Austin, commonly known as Hat, but Damian relents and they agree to work on Drew, getting him to the ropes once again. Dominic is now on the top rope, but put there by Braun in an effort to eliminate him, but Dom manages to kick Braun away a couple times, quickly dropping to the mat and playing keep away with a monster among men. Ace and Damian manage to get Drew over the top rope, trying to get him completely out, but Drew hangs on to the ropes, and the timer for next up hits. Number 16 is Ludwig Kaiser. He makes his way down to the ring quickly and goes after Dominic Mysterio as soon as he's standing, stopping him mid-run with a clothesline. Ludwig then tries to give Braun a nod like, look, I helped, and Ludwig tries to step past him, but Braun stops him, picks him up, and crashes him down to the mat with a big slam. Drew manages to escape elimination by the combination of Ace Austin and Damian Priest, back in the ring now, but recovering in the corner, having been in the match for the longest besides Dominic, with the match almost halfway over now. Or, with the match essentially being halfway over at this point, excuse me. Dominic is also in this match for a long time, and he's recovering in a corner too. Ace and Damian have separated for the time being, with Ace trying to go after Braun Strowman now, and Damian biding his time to keep his energy. Braun eventually overpowers Ace and manages to send him flying out of the ring for the elimination, but it's at this point that Dominic springs out of the corner, and with the help of a recovered Ludwig Kaiser, the two eliminate Braun. Dominic then of course looks at Ludwig like, didn't you just try to eliminate me a couple seconds ago? And Ludwig just kind of gestures vaguely to Braun like, yeah, but look at that. As this happens, the timer is counted down, and we have number 17, Xavier Woods, rushing down to the ring. Xavier wastes no time in making sure that he, Ludwig, and Dominic are on the same page, getting rid of Damian Priest. Before anyone can get anything going though, Drew is out of the corner and quickly gets to work, once again hitting a nice series of moves. Drew hits Xavier with a headbutt, throws Ludwig out of the ring with a quick toss, and points to Dominic with hate in his eyes. Dominic tries to escape Drew's wrath, but is caught and dropped with a Future Shock DDT. Drew yells out, looking around and getting to the corner to set up for the Claymore, but Damian collides with a big running splash, stopping his momentum once again as Dominic decides to again roll out of the ring and out of harm's way. Dom isn't safe for long though, because just as he gets to the side of the ring facing the stage, ramp, and Titantron, number 18 gets counted down, and it's Rey Mysterio. Rey makes his way down to the ring, spots Dominic on the outside, and quickly throws him into the ring to an awaiting Damian Priest. Giving Rey the thumbs up, he turns to Dominic, gives a thumbs down, and nails a big South of Heaven before sending Dominic Mysterio over the top rope quickly for the elimination. Rey's in the ring now and starts to work on Xavier Woods, with Damian looking to work on Drew once more. Drew looks out of it to say the very least as we get our next entrant, number 19, Seth Rollins. Wasting no time in hitting the ring, Seth hangs back at first, letting everyone else get their respective licks in, but keeps a close eye on Damian and Drew in the corner. Xavier is isolated in a corner by Rey, but manages to escape the elimination by ducking out of the way of a dropkick, only to meet a kick to the gut by Seth Rollins, followed by a curb stomp once he gets to the center of the ring. Damian has been overpowered at this point by Drew, and Drew turns around to notice Seth, the two of them looking ready to tear each other apart, with them trading blows in the center of the ring as Rey goes back to Xavier, with this going on for about a minute before the timer runs out and the 20th entrance music plays. Look in my eyes, what do you see? CM Punk is entry number 20. Punk surveys the action in the ring, realizing that at least two people, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, who have taken a pause in their fighting, want to tear him apart, both of them having reached a stalemate as they turn their attention to Punk down from inside the ring. Punk slowly makes his way down, waiting, as Xavier comes out of nowhere, having been able to hit a lucky Lost in the Woods on Rey and distracts Seth with a clubbing blow. Drew, still focused on Punk as Seth is getting worked into the corner by Xavier, taunts Punk. Realizing he has a few options here, Punk yells at Drew that he'll get his in a second, and Punk quickly climbs the apron from the outside near the corner where Rollins is being restricted, grabbing at Seth Rollins, pulling him up and out of the ring, and eliminating him from the outside. This surprises the hell out of everyone. Xavier, who quickly moved away from the situation, the crowd in attendance, and of course Seth, who landed on the outside and is currently fuming. This elimination actually harkens back to the 2014 Rumble, where Punk was eliminated by outside interference himself. Punk stares down at Seth, grinning wide and still not having entered the ring, before the two come to blows on the outside, only being separated by security who quickly move in, getting Seth out of the way and into the crowd, leaving Punk standing tall and able to enter the ring on his own. During all of this, Damian Priest got back to his feet and got Xavier Woods on the ropes, being assisted by Rey in eliminating him. Punk is slowly getting into the ring now, where a waiting Drew is standing strong, Rey Mysterio is in a corner by himself wanting to stay out of it, and Damian Priest backs off as well, knowing what's going to come. As this is happening, the timer counts down for number 21, Jimmy Uso. Punk and Drew come to blows in the ring, and Jimmy enters the ring, quickly looking between Rey and Damian and settling on Mysterio to brawl with. Damian chooses to get involved in the fistfight between Punk and Drew, hitting them both with punches, leading to a three-person fight that nobody seems to get the upper hand of, while we wait for the next countdown. Number 22, Sami Zayn. Sami gets down to the ring and chooses to just ignore any and all alliances, friends. Everyone is just an enemy. He hits Rey Mysterio with a surprise Helluva kick that knocks the legend down to the mat in the corner, before then getting Punk from behind with a blue thunder bomb and dropping Drew McIntyre with a quick STO that ends up going to the Koji clutch. All the momentum seems to be in Sami's corner until Jimmy Uso, who must be thinking the same thing, Royal Rumble, no alliances, hits him with a super kick mid-submission. This gets the hold loosened on Drew, and Damian tries to get involved by throwing down with Jimmy, the two of them getting to the corner and fighting. All of this takes enough time for the next entrant to come down to the ring, number 23, Kofi Kingston. Xavier Woods was eliminated earlier on by Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest. As he's accompanying Kofi, he shares some quick words with them outside of the ring before climbing the apron. Before Kofi can get into the ring though, he's hit with a clothesline by a revived Drew, who's full of rage. Kofi gets knocked down to the mat, not eliminated or even in the match, but pissed off as he runs back in, gets to a standing position in the ring, and within only a couple of seconds, gets immediately claymored by Drew to knock him out of the ring and the match, as Xavier looks on in shock. Jimmy has gotten Sami down to the mat with a Samoan drop, and now he's trying to get Drew out of the ring. But Drew is seeing red and knocks Uso down with a headbutt before Damian manages to come through with a clubbing strike, not able to knock Drew down. Drew eggs him on, Damian strikes again, but it's still not enough to bring him down. While Drew and Damian once again trade big hits, the timer counts down and out comes number 24, Karrion Kross. While he makes his way down to the ring, CM Punk is on the other side of the ring fighting with Jimmy Uso, tossing him over the top rope. Drew manages to throw Damian over the top rope, with Damian hanging on before looking across the ring to where Punk is, hitting him with a yell, and that big arm wound up, only to miss Punk by inches as he hits Jimmy and knocks him out of the ring for the elimination. Punk's managed to avoid Drew once again, causing Drew to look as pissed off as humanly possible as Rey Mysterio and Sami Zayn both get to standing positions near Drew. Punk is quickly torn away by a fired-up Karrion Kross, who locks in a submission hold on the straight-edge Savior, and Drew grits his teeth in anger, not able to get his hands on Punk yet again. At this point, Drew notices both Rey and Sami and turns his attention to the two of them. While the smaller wrestlers try to work together to take Drew down, it's all for naught as Rey is grabbed by Drew and thrown out of the ring for the elimination, and Sami is brought down to the mat with a big body slam. Upon hitting Sami with this move, Drew drags him up to his feet and uses the last of his strength to send Sami out of the ring as well. With only 4 people left in the ring, the timer counts down, and number 25 is about to shake things to their core. Number 25 is John Cena. Cena makes his way down to the ring in quick fashion, clearing the area in quick Super Cena fashion with a shoulder block to Kross, a clothesline to Punk, a spinning powerbomb to Damian Priest, and even an attitude adjustment to Drew McIntyre. With 5 people in the ring, only Cena is up at this moment, and he takes the time to deliver quick 5-knuckle shuffles to both Punk and Kross, attempting to hit an AA on a rising Damian Priest as well, but being overpowered by him as Damian delivers a backbreaker to Cena. Damian looks around the ring, moving to Karrion Kross and working him into a corner, nearly hoisting him up and over the ropes, but being pushed away, before Cena comes through for a big hit that sends Kross out of the ring, just in time for the timer to start up again. Number 26 is Logan Paul, who takes all the time in the world to come down to the ring as fights break out between Damian and Punk and Cena and Drew. Logan pulls out his phone to start live streaming or some other shit, walking around the ring and getting shots of all the people in the ring, and no eliminations come between now and the next timer as Logan keeps walking around the ring. And then, number 27 is revealed to be LA Knight. LA wastes no time in meeting Logan on the outside, chasing him down and into the ring where Cena is waiting, having just hit Drew with an AA before hitting Logan with an AA as well. Punk and Damien are still fighting it out, but Punk manages to get Damien up onto his shoulders, hitting a GTS and knocking Damien against the ropes, where Punk tries lining him up for an elimination, but Damien Priest just won't go out. Punk looks frustrated and runs for another clothesline, but nothing. A GTS and a clothesline isn't enough. Finally, Punk yells out, backs up, and hits a big knee, like his knee bulldog combo in the corner that sees Damien get knocked out of the ring good for this time. Punk is left hanging over the ropes, clearly gassed after the effort needed to take Damien out of the match, and Knight tries to capitalize on this, fighting Punk and attempting to eliminate him. Elsewhere in the ring, Logan Paul is stuck between a barely standing Drew, who's being kept alive by pure rage, and a still essentially fresh John Cena, leaving Logan unsure of where to go. Thinking that he's safer there, Logan moves over to Drew, patting him on the back and trying to work an alliance together. Drew, of course, isn't having this at all and grabs Logan by the throat, hoisting him onto the top rope right behind them, backing away, still trying to get the best of his senses. Cena tries to move in and knock Logan down, but Logan kicks him away. LA Knight tries to move in, but is once again kicked away. As Logan is sat on the top rope, he looks down at everybody and hits a big crossbody on the awaiting John Cena, before hitting Knight with a big body slam and throwing his arms up to say, "Who's gonna mess with me now?" As he says this, the timer finishes counting down and out comes number 28, the final TNA representative, Josh Alexander. Josh makes his way down to the ring, gets in, and starts staring Logan down for a moment before catching an attempted punch, which leads him to hitting Paul with a big time move. Probably a Canadian Destroyer or something, because Josh Alexander is a psychopath. What follows is Logan Paul eating a GTS from Punk, a BFT from LA Knight, an AA from John Cena, and finally a Claymore from Drew McIntyre, who's finally back to his feet despite all the damage he's suffered. Drew has been in this match for over 40 minutes at this point, but is still able to pick up Logan Paul and send him over the top rope after this for the elimination, just for CM Punk to come from behind and send him over the top rope as well. In this match, Drew McIntyre was able to tie Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold for 5th place with the most eliminations in a Rumble at 8, the most since Brock Lesnar in 2020 with 13, but he was eliminated by the man he went to war with the past year. At this point, CM Punk has eliminated both of his biggest rivals in the past year, as Drew was left on the outside of the ring, pissed off but not able to do much but sit back in pain. The timer sounds for number 29, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo makes his way down to the ring and enters, and we have a standoff between those remaining: CM Punk, John Cena, LA Knight, Josh Alexander, and Carmelo Hayes. They're all standing in the ring for a brief stalemate, with Punk being the first person to make a move going after LA Knight, with Josh Alexander and Carmelo Hayes going after John Cena. The latter duo get Cena into a corner and isolate them, with Cena taking some heavy hits and even a C4 spike from Josh Alexander. They both begin to try and get Cena out of the ring, with Cena quickly coming to and being able to avoid it, hitting shoulder tackles on both men before being intercepted by an Irish whipped LA Knight, who hits the ground after the collision. Punk, having just Irish whipped LA Knight into that general direction, is standing opposite Cena in the ring, and both men have a stare down that probably pops the crowd big time, as the final entrant gets counted down. 3, 2, 1. Number 30 is none other than the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Both men in the ring turn to look at Reigns, with Reigns standing in the middle of the stage, Paul Heyman next, as he removes the Ula Fala and makes his way down to the ring. Cena and Punk talk for a second, reaching an agreement. Reigns is a threat and needs to go ASAP. As soon as Reigns enters the ring, Punk and Cena start laying in with punches, but are overpowered by the last entrant in the Rumble. Carmelo tries to get involved too, but he's hit with a Superman punch before being thrown over the top rope. Then, Josh Alexander tries to hit Roman with a rolling elbow, which is stopped by Reigns ducking, running the ropes, and spearing him. Punk tries to rush Reigns next and is hit with a spear as well, before Cena finally manages to take Reigns down with a surprise bulldog from behind, with Cena trying immediately to hit a 5-knuckle shuffle. At the last second, Reigns rolls out of the way, getting to his feet and staring down John Cena in a moment that calls back to their SummerSlam 2021 match. The two come to blows while LA Knight, Punk, and Josh Alexander all recover in separate corners. Roman is able to easily overpower Cena, hitting a big-time powerbomb before he focuses his attention on the biggest threat currently in the ring, CM Punk. Punk immediately squares up, coming to blows with Reigns as LA Knight and Josh Alexander start duking it out on the other side of the ring. Cena is left to recover as opposite corners see eliminations about to go down, with Reigns trying to throw Punk out of the ring with a whip, but Punk instead floats over the top rope, connecting with a kick to the side of Roman's head as he tries to rush in. Punk gets back in the ring, hitting a flying forearm to Reigns, then a clothesline, whipping Reigns into the corner for a knee, and then the Bulldog. It's vintage Punk in this comeback. Cena comes to help out, having gotten back up, and once again signals with a 5-knuckle shuffle, but once again at the last second, we see Roman roll out of the way to spring up and spear Cena. LA Knight gets sent to the apron, Josh Alexander taking a second to breathe, and Roman is closest to the two as he focuses in on them, nodding furiously and hitting LA with a big-time Superman punch, sending him off the apron and eliminating him. Alexander tries to get in there and take advantage of a distracted Reigns, but is quickly dispatched by Roman via a big back body drop out of the ring, and we're down to 3. John Cena, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns are all in different corners, catching their breath and realizing where they're at and what's at stake. They meet in the center of the ring, and the crowd is all on their feet as they all come to blows, interchanging their targets at a moment's notice. Punk gets Reigns into a sort of clinch for a moment, hitting knees before Cena comes out of nowhere with a clothesline from behind. Roman turns and hits an uppercut on Cena, then a punch to Punk. Punk's backed up into the corner, and Cena comes from behind of Roman and hits a sit-out powerbomb before moving to Punk and trying to muscle him over the top rope. Punk lands on his feet on the apron, delivering a kick to the side of Cena's head like earlier against Reigns, and as Cena turns, he's met with a Superman punch from Roman Reigns, followed up with Roman throwing Cena over the top rope where Cena hangs on for a moment before Punk, also on the apron next to him, rushes him on the side of the apron and knocks him down to the mat outside for the elimination. Punk quickly ducks a clothesline attempt by Roman, looking to end things quickly, and CM Punk quickly makes his way back into the ring. We're down to 2, and wasting no time, Punk and Roman exchange punches in the middle of the ring, full of adrenaline. Punk gains an advantage via ducking a big punch and hitting a roundhouse kick that stuns Roman for a moment, with Punk then hitting the ropes and hitting Roman Reigns with a spear, popping the crowd. Not wanting to leave any room for error, Punk picks Roman up and whips him into the corner for a knee and bulldog combo, but he misses the initial knee and lands awkwardly, turning around in the corner just to be met with a knee from Roman Reigns. Cocky smile and all on his face as he does a mocking go-to-sleep motion before hitting the bulldog from the corner on Punk. Reigns then gets into the corner, starts shaking his head, throwing out his arms for a nice big ooh ah, and he runs towards the standing Punk to try for his spear, with Punk dodging it and watching Roman hit the corner turnbuckle hard, stumbling backwards and being turned around, hoisted up onto Punk's shoulders. Punk yells out and nails the GTS on Roman, laying out the Tribal Chief before picking him up one last time, putting him on his shoulders again, pointing with one arm at the WrestleMania sign, and yelling out, "This is my time," before he hits the GTS on Roman, which sends him stumbling into the ropes before a clothesline knocks him out of the ring and eliminates him. CM Punk is the winner of the 2025 Royal Rumble. And that is my prediction for the Royal Rumble of 2025. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. I tried to book this with a little bit of fan booking as well as a lot of realism here. I think I did a pretty good job, especially with the spread of eliminations. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below if your favorite got eliminated or if you think I just booked this horribly. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're staying hydrated. I'll see you next time.